Imagine this. You're not somebody who can handle noise well. In one particular Monday in class, people refuse to be quiet. They all keep talking about the new classmate that moved into your town recently. Her popular influencer known for making funny skits. The noise didn't bother her at all. You turn your attention to something else. You didn't want to be jealous. After classes are over, you are unable to stop thinking about her. You wondered how somebody like her was able to simply put their name out there and to take the risk and to live an extravagant life. You shake your head. You tell yourself you want none of that. You simply want a quiet life without any noise and without any unnecessary risks. You are on your bed, unable to do anything, not even stuff you enjoy. It's already dark out, so you doze off, hoping tomorrow is better. Only for it to be Monday again. Are you intrigued yet? Hello everybody, I'm Aqua, I'm a writer and artist. I'm currently making a webcomic called Once More with Love. What I just told you were the first few events of the first chapter. I'm currently close to ending the chapter's pre-production phase thanks to my lovely alpha readers, so I thought it was the perfect time to introduce you all to this story. This video will go over the setting and the main cast, and afterwards I'll make videos about other aspects like drawing, developing characters, and creating comics overall. Now let's start before a track hits me. The story follows Ava, who after getting trapped into various different time loops, has to figure out how to end them for good. Along the way she meets friends, falls in love, survives the new year of high school, and changes as a person overall. The theme of the story is what makes time truly precious. I want to explore what time means to different types of people. Is it something they want to make most out of? Something that gives them too much pleasure? Or is time spent on someone difficult a waste or worth it? And what can we do when we're running out of time? I find it to be a really interesting topic and I'm really excited to share my own take on it. And with that out of the way, it's time to introduce the main cast of this comic who are called Team Jacket for the time being. And who will be the best person to talk about first other than the main character herself, Ava? When I first came up with the story concept, Ava being the protagonist was immediately a go-to choice. But her character arc was really lacking at the time because it was like, shy girl becomes more confident, the end. I changed a lot of things about her character to make her more unique. For one thing, she keeps her glasses. Groundbreaking, I know. And I wasn't really vibing with her being shy, so instead I thought about her being on the autism spectrum. Specifically, she struggles with context clues, joining conversation, and gets sensory overload when it comes to noise. I really loved the idea of her being in the autism spectrum, so I decided to fit her character to the themes better like that, and this is what I got. What if the main character of a story about time being precious constantly feels like she wastes her time and doesn't think she can change that until she can? Now that is what I call juice. Design-wise, she was the most difficult character to figure out. Everyone else in the cast I knew how they looked early on, but with Ava it was sort of a figure out as you make it think. Her design turned into my favorite of the cast. Now you may be wondering, isn't this a romance? Who's her love interest? Hey, gay. Antoinette Ford. Despite her only living in Ava's town for a couple of months now, she's quickly become the talk of the town. Since a young age, she made various video skits with her family that made her popular. The town never had an influencer as one of the residents before, so she got a lot of eyes on her. Maybe a bit too many. That's right, everyone, this is the Hope Core Sapphic story. Yippee! Antoinette, or Anne as I'm going to call her throughout this video, is a very fun character for me to write. In this story, there wouldn't really be an inciting incident without her, and after the story, she's the character who helped me the most when I got stuck in the writing process. She's in many ways a narrative foil to Ava. Antoinette not only doesn't have any issues with socializing with people, she also isn't afraid to take risks and make most out of her time. Especially with how many people she met who are already friends of her skits, even if that's the only reason people tend to approach her. Small spoiler, but Ava isn't actually a fan of watching skits online, so she only knows about Antoinette's popularity because of what her classmates have been saying about her. And I'm just saying, but wouldn't it be fun for a character who thought people only hung out with her because of her status and popularity to meet somebody who generally only views her as another person and into boy and it's very, very gay? I'm just saying. friends to lovers, especially when it's a slow burn, is something I really enjoy writing. But I also do like it when there's a bit more tension between the characters as well. Carmen is the character that stands out the most in the cast. For one, they are the only homeschooled person within the group, which leads to a lot of awkward interactions. Secondly, they are also rather blunt, not mean, just blunt. To an extent. A concerning extent. They aren't afraid to speak up whatever it is that's on their minds, but they're also not afraid to say those things in less than appealing ways. Aside of that, Carmen is also the first person Ava meets who is aware of the time loops. Now that they both have someone to rely on, they are doing their best to end these time loops for good, even though Carmen prefers to do so from a distance. Carmen is also non-binary. I have several non-binary and trans characters in my other stories, but Carmen is special for they will be the first non-binary character present in a serialized comic of mine. Also, they're my favorite character in the story. Hehe. Listen, sometimes all you need in life is a grumpy non-binary homeschool 19-year-old who doesn't like being emotional to him and has a sunshine bestie. Speaking of besties, last but not least, we get Chet, whom I also lovingly call Best Boy. He is the last person to be introduced and also the last person to find out about the time loops. He is very outgoing and social and also a big sweetheart. He is also very considerate of everyone and isn't afraid to help anyone who needs it. Except for himself at times. Now before I continue to discuss Chet, I would like to address the elephant in the room. The very white elephant in the room. As you can see, Chet is black, and I am a white woman, so I made sure to handle his character with a lot of care and respect. I can't afford a sensitivity reader at the moment, so I made sure to do a lot of research so I can avoid any racist tropes I may have not been aware of. One specifically I decided to watch out for was the disposable black girlfriend/boyfriend trope. For those unaware, that trope describes a black character who is introduced as a love interest to the usually white main character, only to be replaced by a white love interest, and the black love interest is usually used as a tool to just get the two white characters together. That's a trope many people have issues with even they're not aware of it at first. And I bring this up because Chet does develop a quote-unquote crush on Ava and she rejects him. I really want to make sure Chet doesn't fall into that trope, so I've been very carefully planning out this plotline. For one, Ava is a lesbian, so she couldn't accept his feelings no matter what. I'm also someone who thinks that both platonic and romantic relationships are important. One is not lesser than the other, they're just different. So I really want to present Chet as not only an amazing friend, but also a strong character on his own. Plus, who knows, I enjoy it when stories have B pairings. Wink wink, nudge nudge. That's it for this video. If you are interested in any further developments for Once More with Love going forward, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'd appreciate it if you like this video too. Thank you all so much for watching up until this point, and goodbye!